That's right. It's the morning show right here on KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Yes, we got it going on today. On today's show, we got the LA Boat Show coming up around the corner. Something to do for the entire family. We have them on each and every time. Always something new to learn about boating. It's happening this week at the Pomona Fairplex. So we got details on that, as well as we'll be giving away tickets to the LA Boat Show. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the great channels. We also got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
And Jesse, I don't know, did you get to see just a little of the Golden Globes by chance?
I saw little bits and clips, but I'm going to take a bit closer look at some of the clips later today.
Yeah, you know what? Look, okay, I will be completely frank here. This is the first time I actually got to see without watching clips, right? Without watching like Facebook, without watching YouTube clips. I actually saw it for the first time. We were gonna go eat. Well, we did eat actually Japanese sushi. I don't know. Are you? You're not a sushi man, are you?
No, not particularly.
Then
Only if I'm like stuck on an island somewhere.
see, okay, then we got again another thing that we got to like acclimate you to, because that was my mom. My mom's like, I don't like sushi. Sushi's disgusting. It's just nasty. We took her to this place in Monterey Park, which, by the way, she loves it now. She can't have enough of it. But so there they had Golden Globes playing right there, and I was like, oh wow, the Golden Globes, yes, I can see it. I can have my sushi. Most people pay a lot of money for like these Golden Globe or Oscar like viewing parties, but we had our own, except they didn't know how to put on the closed captioning. They were like, oh, it doesn't work. I'm like, how does closed captioning not work? Anyway, so long story short, I ended up downloading the app, which took me forever and a day, on NBC, the NBC app. I was able to watch it on my phone. So there you go. That's kind of the newest thing. And we'll talk about some of the winners, which, by the way, I told you two of these would win way back when on the Hollywood Social Lounge. I predicted it, and they won. Whether they're going to win the Oscars, I have no idea. We got much more coming up around the show, including shout-outs coming up next. Just stay tuned right there. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, so we're on our commercial break. Checking you guys out over there. We see you tuning in. Let's see, we've got Diana Chenevere over there. I can almost guarantee Diana likes a lot of sushi, being on her humble yacht over there in the, what is she in? Let's see, the Gulf Coast? No, wait, where's she at? Where are you at today, Diana? Let's see, we got Dino says, best show on the land. Oh, thank you. We appreciate that shout out. Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious day ahead with a head cold virus. Oh, no, you too, Stephanie, huh? You haven't heard Jesse just sniff just yet.
No, I'm a little sick.
Jesse's trying to hold it back. I hate it when you've heard me sick, like, behind the scenes, and then I'm like, and then I'm on the air like, and then I'm like, well, poor Tom Hanks had the same thing, by the way, during his acceptance speech. Nobody wants to go on stage with a head cold, but he still rocked it. I mean, it's nice when you know you're getting an award, so you could prepare for that. And I have to say, there weren't any really shocking acceptance speeches on the Golden Globes, but Tom Hanks hit it out of the park. Ellen DeGeneres, obviously, And to be able to get an award that Carol Burnett's like right there, usually they give these awards and the person's passed away. So they can't like thank them. But you could tell all the ladies were clamoring around Carol Burnett. Like it was nice. It was nice to see. I would be that person because I'm just huge fan of Carol Burnett. And
We got 20 seconds.
Tim
and
Conway.
Diana is in the Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico. See, I knew she was in the Gulf. Not playing golf.
No.
All right. So we'll talk about some of this. And did you see the dresses they were wearing? Oh, my goodness. I didn't pay attention normally, but Brenda
2 seconds.
had her. Okay. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Yes, it's a great day to be alive. See what I did there with the live. Speaking of live, Golden Globes happened live yesterday. Did you see it? We got comments. We got social media just buzzing up over there. For those that haven't seen it, if anything, you definitely have seen some of the dresses, and we'll talk about that and more around the corner. We're also going to be joined just around the corner with a really cool event, which is happening. If you're in the LA area, you're definitely going to want to check out the LA Boat Show, which is happening this coming January 9th through the 12th, and it's all happening right there. We're going to have one of the founders, actually, Duncan McIntosh, joining us just around the corner, talking to us about some of the great stuff you can expect here at the LA Boat Show. So super excited about that. We also got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So look, Jesse, I understand, if anything, you did not get to watch the Golden Globes, even though we covered that you could have seen it downloading the app. First of all, do you even have the app or any of the apps? You should have at least the ABC app.
No.
You know what? At least you're honest. It's okay. I like that. What about the KMET 1490 AM app? Do you have that?
I do have that.
Okay, see, good. All right, you can still work here. No, but seriously, I don't have that kind of pull. But I would promote him if I had that kind of pull. Seriously, I would. Does everybody agree with me? But seriously, look, Jesse, here's my take on the Golden Globes. It was, I don't think I've ever sat through a Golden Globes in the past. So for those of you wondering how you could have watched if you didn't, was you could have just downloaded, yes, I'm giving NBC a plug, NBC, which it aired on, and everybody's talking about it. So you could download that. You just have to make sure you have like a provider, right? Like we have Spectrum in our house. So, I'm like rating my mom over there because I don't have it in the high desert. I don't have Spectrum. I do have their wireless, but I don't have the other. So I'm like, Mom, what's your password? Because we took her to eat some good sushi. Which, by the way, for those tuning in, can anybody recommend a good either sushi place or good sushi to actually eat? Because evidently, Jesse has never partaken of some good sushi. What's going on here, Jesse?
Yeah, fishies deserve to be free, but no, I just never had the urge to eat it.
Yeah, we got to work on that. But do you like salmon? Do you like any type of fish just to eat like normally or cooked? Because I find that people find that the raw part sounds a little odd.
No, not particularly.
So no fish at all. So you're not a fish person.
No, I will eat it. I've tasted it. I've eaten it, but I don't have like the urge to go like, oh my God, let me have fish. Or lobster.
I seriously think you have not eaten at the right place because it's two things. It's the people you go with and it's the type of food. Because my mom's the same way. By the way. I knew she was not gonna love sushi because I knew she was like, no, I don't like it. Now she's addicted. She's hooked to it because she got good sushi. Because there's good sushi and there's bad and there's cheap sushi. There's $1.99 sushi. Stay away from pretty much. Okay. Tim Harris, another one who said, no, I don't think anything raw is good. But after trying sushi, not with us, but with some others that acclimated him to it. So I think it's all about the experience. And for those of you tuning in, if you want to check out a pretty good sushi place, by the way, you have got to check it out in Monterey Park. I'm going to give them a little shout out. A little of a shout out and a little bit of a warning. Don't go thinking you're gonna watch like the Oscars there because closed captioning doesn't work. But you don't really go to eat sushi at this restaurant for like the Oscars or the Golden Globes. Although it was a nice little thing that they had them on, but then after asking, I know I'm giving them like a backhanded like compliment here, but they want to turn on the captions or like it doesn't work. I'm like, give me the remote. I mean, and then I'm like, okay, I don't want them to put anything in my sushi because that could go really bad really quick. So I'm like, you know what? Calm it down, download the app. So I downloaded the app. It worked just fine. And then we were able to watch it with closed captioning on our mobile device. So win-win, right? And it was a fun experience. So a big shout out, though, to Kaiba Japanese Restaurant, which, by the way, you do not go to watch the shows. You go to enjoy with your family and eat sushi as it should be. But there you go. So just so that you know, now you know. So there's that. So basically, Jesse, my point is this: we gotta basically take you, and then you can enjoy sushi at its finest. Which, by the way, big shout out to those tuning in live, including somebody who knows about. I don't know if she's. We should ask her that. Does she fish while on her yacht? I mean, what else do you do on a yacht other than enjoy your time on the yacht? I don't know, but I want to know. So Diana Chenevier, who's tuning in from the Gulf of Mexico on her humble yacht, what type of food? I mean, I can't imagine her being a vegan, being surrounded by seafood, right? Especially free seafood. So there you go. All right, we got Tim Harris there. We got Casey, who says, I will eat the occasional California roll or spicy tuna roll. I just won't go out of my way for it. Okay, well, that makes sense. Let's see. Diana says, yes, her crown prince is docked on the Emerald Coast of Northwest Florida, Gulf of Mexico. So there you go. Look, we've got people tuning in from all over the world. We appreciate when you guys tell us where you're tuning in from. Stephanie Reed, Cleveland, Ohio, says, hello, happy editing this glorious day ahead with the head cold virus. And boy, oh boy, do you have to like up your antibodies here because everybody's getting sick. Tom Hanks gave his acceptance speech completely with the head cold, which he did pretty good. He hit it basically out of the park. I mean, Tom Hanks, everybody expects. I mean, when they did the whole every movie he's ever been in, I was like, you know what? There's very few. I don't think I can name a bad movie except for maybe the Volcano one, which I was like, no, that was just terrible. I think the Volcano one. What was it called? Joe versus the Volcano. That was
You like Joe versus the Volcano?
You liked it? Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember it right now, so I love it.
Yeah, look, Joe versus Volcano. I saw it at the movie theaters. That's how far back I go, and I remember I just hated it. I didn't understand it for paying the price that I did. Now watching it on television, I totally get, right? I totally understand that, but I didn't understand it growing up. I just thought that was the dumbest movie. But I think that seriously, for an actor who's been around for so long, the majority, almost 98% of his movies that they showed there, I was like, The Road to Perdition was a great movie. Castaway, fantastic. I think I watched it twice, actually. Although the first time I thought it was boring, and then the second time I'm like, oh, because again, it depends who you watch it with. And so there you go. So he, of course, accepting his speech, really good speech as well, talking about the role of an actor, and especially showing up on time, which I cannot tell you how many productions I've been a part of. When people do not show up on time, it drives me bonkers. But you could tell Tom Hanks actually really talked about that and how important that is for every actor and just the whole production crew, because I think that was a thing that, unlike most actors, he said, look, it takes a lot of people to take that take. It takes the person moving the camera, it takes the sound person, it takes the script supervising, it takes everybody, and then he's there, but he's one of just many different cogs to the film that is done. So I thought he gave a fantastic speech. The other speech, of course, of the evening, for those of you that perhaps didn't watch it, maybe you did, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen did a fantastic job, of course, having fun with her acceptance speech as well. And, of course, accepting the Carol Burnett Award, which Carol Burnett is there live in audience. So, I mean, you can't get better than that. So, of course, very amazing. And you know what? Look, some of the winners that you're probably wondering if you haven't seen it already. Joaquin Phoenix, which I said he was going to win at least one award. I wasn't sure if he'd win both awards, both Golden Globe and Oscars. That remains to be seen. But there you go. So, of course, he won for Joker. And a lot of nods, by the way, by other actors about how well he's done in this film. And Jesse, you saw this film, right?
Yes, I have.
So, have you gone back to see it again, and will you see it again though?
Will I see it again? Yes.
Okay.
I actually plan to buy it in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. See, you went next level there because I mean, so like DVD buy or digital download buy or
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. Okay, all right, I get it. So there you go, Golden Globes winner Joaquin Phoenix, of course. Good job over there, and then of course on the opposite end, for Judy, which again predicted on the Hollywood Social Lounge. Check out the Hollywood Social Lounge every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on both channels: ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, and KVVB TV. Of course, Judy took it away, which look, you could just tell by the dramatic like trailer, which again, it's now you can actually go ahead and download it on streaming devices. Renee Zellweger did a fantastic job on that. Obviously won for Best Actress there as well. So I don't think there were too many surprises there. Look, Chernobyl took away some pretty big ones. The Irishman, I don't know how. Let me see. The Irishman, which was sitting there. I mean, look, you had like a really cool table of just legends at one table. That alone was pretty much good, but everybody believes that the Irishman was a little too long. And Ricky, of course, insinuated that once or twice. But you know what? Good job for the rest of them. And it was a fun evening to be had by all. Some of the dresses, not so much. I mean, look, I normally never pay attention to the dresses. I never razz on the dresses, except when you're watching with your lady, and Brenda Higuera is, a fashionista, I might add, and a makeup artist. So she's looking at everybody's makeup, making sure it's on point. And so she's calling out a couple, which they just had no makeup, like, you could tell they did their own makeup. Which when you go on stage and you're like going to be presenting or something, of course it's best if you have somebody do your makeup because you got all the oils coming through, you got the shininess coming through. It's always better to have that. I know only because I've got her at my side, but there were a couple like which you're going to see all day long, and you're going to say, what were they thinking on some of these dresses? And look, Jennifer Lopez. Look, who doesn't love Jennifer Lopez? Usually, Jennifer Lopez is one of those like icon models, which when she gets on the carpet, people like, oh, I want to dress like her, right? Not this year. Not this year. In fact, Jennifer Lopez, for lack of a better term, did you see what she was wearing, Jesse?
No, but I can check right now.
Yeah, I think you should. Long story short,
Oh, Lord.
what do you get? What do you get when you get like a prize for Christmas? Did you get a prize? And I think that's what she was kind of going for. I think B2B is like, you know what? You are my prize. Wear a bow. Because that's what she basically wore. She was like the grand prize at the Golden Globes. And she didn't win, by the way. But you know what? That wasn't technically the worst dress. There were a couple other really like terrible choices. But you know what? I think when you go to one of these award shows, you go with one of two thoughts. You either go with, I'm going to be the best dressed category, or you're like, you know what? I don't feel like going best dressed. I want to be on the other list of the worst dressed because I'm going to get probably more publicity than everybody else, right? So,
Yeah.
I applaud her on that. She succeeded. She's on everybody's like headline and radar right now for being the worst dressed imaginable. But so there you go. Look, you knock it, but you're talking about it. Okay, maybe I'm just talking about it. You're thinking, but watch, people around you are going to talk about it today. So there you go. Okay, we got lots to talk about around the corner. We need to take a break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. So just for the first time, it's which is good. It's kind of like one of these real reactions. So he's checking out all the worst and best dressed at the Golden
Oh,
Globes.
oh no, Jodie Comer is the new winner of the worst dress.
Jodie Comer. Okay, I gotta look that one up. Hold on. Golden Globes. We're on our commercial break, by the way. This is how we spend our time on commercial break sometimes. Jodie Comer.
Yeah, is that Comer?
Yeah, that would be her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't as flamboyant though. I mean, she has kind of like a spark. Like, I mean, at least it's black. You know, you can't go wrong with black and fuzzy. I mean, I don't know what's going on with her like arms thing, but I mean, look, I think when you do the Golden Globes, you go for classy and elegant. You can't go wrong with that, but you probably don't like stand out from the rest. I feel like
True.
it's like a far cry of like, please pay attention to me. Let me go with the gaudiest outfit imaginable. And if you're gonna make a statement, I guess that would be how I'd make a statement. So look, there's more things happening on in the world, so we'll switch gears here. But I thought I'd give a little nod to at least the Golden Globe winners. Which, what was the list again?
We got 10 seconds.
Yeah, I should bring it back. There's the list. All right, cool.
2 seconds.
All right, thanks. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. Yes, so look, the reality is the Golden Globes were fun. Now, of course, everybody's looking to the Oscars. Of course, we're going to razz on somebody that looks like they basically showed up as a Christmas present, which is exactly what Jennifer Lopez did this year. So look, we're talking about it, and Tim Harris says J-Lo looked like a leftover Christmas package. Yeah, so there you go. Of course, William, you know what William is keeping it classy over there. William Chaveri says Pierce Brosnan, black on black tux class, taking cues from my red carpet on 220. All right, so yeah, you know what? I'm going to be the first to admit I've been on a lot of red carpets. And sometimes I will go and like I will look at other photos of like well-dressed men. We don't have too many selections, by the way, as men. You know that? It's like, you know, because you have the white tux. I think Ewan McGregor did like the white sneakers. That was a bold move, but he could do it. It's Ewan McGregor. And Pierce Brosnan, of course, you're right, kept it very classy. Introduced his two sons and talked about especially the biggest thing happening in Australia, all of those brush wildfires, which, again, you had quite a few people, including one winner, of course. Are you not entertained? You know, Gladiators, Russell Crowe. Of course, he won, but he couldn't make it due to the brush wildfires, which are terrible in Australia. And if you haven't already heard, you definitely heard that by the end of the evening about how terrible it is. And for those of us kind of living on an island, Australia it's massive, massively burning, and brush fires are not anything new, but this year it has never been as big as it has been in this season. So, and again, much of it being because over there it's summer, so you're thinking, what? It's so cold here. What? Australia is in summertime right now, so they're in the heat of summer. So remember, our fires here in California pale in comparison to the fires happening in Australia. Lots of wildlife losing their life, literally. In fact, some of the news happening is, you know, others are actually trying to rescue the animals. Like, for example, the Irwin's Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital. They've treated more than 90,000 animals hurt in the fires. And this is something that was being talked about for pretty much every other speech, because Pierce Brosnan brought it up, and then it continued as well beyond the evening. Russell Crowe talked about it as well because of the him not being able to make it. He's actually trying to keep his family safe in their neck of the woods, wherever they live there in Australia. But there, you know, good kudos to the Irwin family. Of course, the Irwin family always doing their things, and you can follow them at Australia Zoo. According to this, they said, there are no fires near us at Australia Zoo or our conservation properties. And this was Bindi Irwin. And you remember, of course, her dad being the famous Steve Irwin, who died as of in late years. But according to this, the 21-year-old said the wildlife hospital has been busier than ever and so far has treated more than 90,000 patients, 90,000 animal patients, that is. According to the statement there, it says, my parents dedicated our Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital to my beautiful grandmother. And she said, we will continue to honor her by being wildlife warriors and saving as many lives as we can. Friday, Bindi shared an example of the devastation on her Instagram post of a possum that was rescued from a fire in Queensland that sadly did not survive. And she said, quote, Blossom the possum, cute name, was admitted to the Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital after being caught in one of the bushfires burning in other parts of Queensland. We have such an incredible team who work day and night to protect gorgeous animals like Blossom. Devastatingly, this beautiful girl didn't make it even after working so hard to save her life. I want to thank you for your kind words and support. And, you know, just to give you some perspective on these brush fires, I mean, how much, like, information have you heard so far on these brush fires, Jesse?
Just that they've been burning for several months now, and they're getting really, really bad.
Yeah. How bad is it? To give you some perspective, because I'm going to be honest here. I had to look it up because I had heard about it, but I thought in the back of my head, I thought prior to the Golden Globes, I thought, okay, well, we had a lot of fires here. We fought them. We overcame them. Why can't these happen in Australia? I was sadly mistaken that I didn't know as much as I should have known about these brush fires, especially in Australia. It is so bad that if you look not just at the pictures don't even do it justice because it's in multiple areas all across Australia. And so, you know, if you were looking for some information, there's a visual guide here that I'm looking at. And to give it some perspective, I mean, it's almost like all of the edges of Australia are burning up, pretty much. Like all the entire edge, like imagine the U.S., and all the edges all around the U.S. just burning up. It looks like that. And very big areas as well. So, of course, other people are being in the news media of donating to the Australia wildfires, or rather brush fires, which they're correctly named. How big is this happening? I mean, it's millions and millions of acres. I'm trying to get the local news, but I'll find that out. We'll be taking a quick break here on the morning show. When we get back, I'll have some statistics for you on how big these Australia brush fires, just to give you some perspective on this. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, so there you go. Let's see. Here we go. Here's more numbers. 2,700 firefighters were battling the blazes as of Sunday. 3 have been killed. The Australia Defence Force said Sunday it had called 3,000 Army Reserve forces and others with specialist capabilities to help fight the flames. There are over 136 fires burning.
Wow.
Of those, 69 are not contained. 24 people have died this fire season, which in comparison for like how big this is, any life lost is terrible, but we've heard of some which even more lives have been lost, but 24 lives still have died. 2 people are missing. 480 million animals. I don't know how they get that statistic, but 480 million animals have died. The true mortality is likely to be substantially higher than those estimated, according to a university. A third of koalas may have been killed in the fires. That's just, I mean, who doesn't love a koala? And a third of their habitat have been destroyed. Smoke in Sydney was so bad, the air quality measured 11 times the hazardous level. More than 14, here it is, 14.7 million acres. 14.7 million acres have been burned across the country's 6 states. That's larger, to give you some perspective, than the countries of Belgium and Haiti combined.
Wow.
1,300 houses destroyed, 8.9 million acres scorched. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison unveiled a $1.39 billion fund to help rebuild communities hit by the fires. $347 million of that will be allocated within this year. Prime Minister has already said up to $4,200 will go to each of the volunteer firefighters battling blazes for more than 10 days. It's a drop in the bucket for what's happening there right now. But either way you slice it or dice it, that's a lot of carbon emission from these fires just being pumped into the air.
We got 30 seconds.
So anyway, so there you go.
I just keep seeing pictures of those burned koalas. It's sad.
Yeah, I know, right? There was a graph I saw that showed a comparison of our fires here in the California.
2 seconds.
Compared to. That's right.
That's right.
It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio. KMET 1490 AM. KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Yes, and to give you some perspective on how bad the devastating Australian fires are, just by the numbers alone, there's about 2,700 firefighters battling the blazes. This is as of yesterday. 3 have been killed. The Australia Defence Force said Sunday it had called 3,000 Army Reserve forces and others with specialist capabilities to help fight the flames. There were about 136 fires burning all across Australia there. Of those, 69 are not contained. Not contained. So obviously a very big and terrible thing happening. Officials say 24 people have died this fire season. The majority of casualties, 18, are from Australia, which have been hit hardest by blazes. People have died in Victoria and another 3 in South Australia. 2 people are also missing as of Monday. 480 million animals have died. That's according to the Professor Chris Dickman with the University of Sydney. Said the true mortality is likely to be substantially higher than those estimated. Almost a third of koalas may have been killed in the fires. So, of course, we're watching this, and this is if you just look at a map on the fires, it is literally all around Australia. And compared to past years, Australians know better than anybody what is going on over there. And, I mean, look, even here in our own backyard, right, of California and the U.S., we had probably, among the last couple of years, probably the worst wildfires we've had than all, what is it, the 100 years? I don't know. Somebody I'm sure is going to check out the numbers there for us. But it's not looking good. Obviously, lots of photos coming in as well on these fires, and we're no stranger to it being here on the West Coast. So, but for Australia, this is more than in past years. So, of course, that was one of the biggest discussions this year at the Golden Globes, and so there you go. So be careful out there, and remember, only you can prevent wildfires. But some of these actually start up, sometimes man-made, and then sometimes through the weather. They do. According to lightning storms, according to other things that can happen, there are things that can cause naturally burning fires, which is what was discussed as well. All right, so skipping over to something a little bit more fun, though, Jesse. Look, I understand you've not a big partaker of Disneyland, but what about Disney World?
Yes, actually, that is on my list to go to visit.
All right, well then you might want to check this out. According to this article, let's see, the job of a lifetime has been advertised by Ocean, Florida. as they look for someone to experience the rides, fireworks, shows, tasty food, and cuddly Disney characters. Be careful, some of them grab. Around some of the best theme parks in the world. The successful candidate will spend 3 weeks at parks in Orlando during April or May, providing valuable feedback. 3 weeks, Jesse. You know how long? That's a long time.
That is.
I mean, granted, I think it takes about a week to do all of Orlando, Florida's like Disneyland, because they have, unlike Disney or Disney World. Let me get that right, because Disneyland is, you got the 2 parks, and you could probably do that in 2 to 3 days. Like, be able to try to get on all the rides because of all the busyness of the season, depending when you go, especially now. A lot are kind of upset. I'm right there with you on the prices being increased, but that's what happens when you have a new ride, like, you know, the Star Wars ride coming out. Of course, they're going to raise the rates because there are lines out the wazoo and people are still going. Of course, they're like, well, they could pay, why not? But for the average family, I think, can we settle it down on the cost there?
Right.
But back to this, and look, I love Disneyland just as much as the next person I do. We had season, and maybe I'm a little bitter. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'm a little bitter because we had season passes like for the year, but we just couldn't afford to keep it, right? It's just like it was now like a luxury. We couldn't afford it. So my point is this, though, Jesse. You might want to partake in this. The successful candidate will spend 3 weeks. Parks include the Walt Disney World Resort, Universal Orlando Resort, and SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. You'll need to be social media savvy, by the way. So that's good. You already have your Instagram. No, it's okay. I can teach you to do the rest. Capturing pictures and videos of your experiences and potentially taking over the Ocean Florida social media platforms to document your journey. Not only will you get what's equivalent to 3,000 pounds, you'll also have the option to take a partner, friend, or family member along for the ride. So, Jesse, just out of curiosity, I mean, you and I have been like best buds on the morning show for quite some time, but I understand you got a girlfriend. So if push came to shove, who would you take?
I would have to take my girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If this were between you and Brenda would have to win because you can't choose the option. Okay, good choice, by the way. I was gonna reprimand you if you picked me, by the way, because I wouldn't pick you. I'm just letting you know because I gotta think of Brenda and the little one. So the travel accommodation will take care of both you and both of you. Get a daily budget to allow you to take in everything each park has to offer. Complimentary fast passes. Wow. Complimentary fast passes will ensure you spend as little time as possible stuck in queues, as you're handed a GoPro and Fitbit to capture every heart-racing moment from an unforgettable journey. To apply, yes, people, maybe Jesse may not win for this. All you need to do is fill out your details and a simple questionnaire, including giving details on your top roller coaster experience to date. Jesse, do you have a top roller coaster experience to date?
I can't. The last roller coaster I remember being on was Montezuma's Revenge at Knoxbury Farm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's I would probably take Six Flags as being like a really. When's the last time you've been to Six Flags, by the way?
Ooh, over 20 years.
Oh man, you got to go back. You would seriously. I haven't. It's probably been about that time for me too. But they have like really major roller coasters. According to this, though, here's where you apply. You ready for it? Ocean-florida.co.uk. Yes, this is a UK thing, but I'm thinking some of us can get in on this. You don't have long to apply. Initial applications close on January 31st, after which there will be stages including a video application, phone interviews, and one-to-one interviews before the lucky candidate is picked. It's only open to those aged 18 and over. Sorry, little guy. And you can apply right there, oceanflorida.co.uk. One of the questions, though, which I think is good for all of us to ask our social media audience over there, which are kicking it up over there, is this. You'll need to come up with an eye-catching answer to Ocean Florida's question, asking which Disney character you would be and why. So, Jesse, I will start with you. Which Disney character will you be and why?
I'll say Goofy because the name says it all.
That's great, Max. Yeah, look, Goofy's fantastic. Those of you on social media, you can let us know what you think who you would be. Okay, we need to take another break here on the morning show. I've got a couple characters I've been in quite some, like in my head, but I'm going to leave that off because I know somebody's going to razz me for it. So there you go. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, we're on our commercial break. Yeah, which Disney character would you be and why?
Oh, wait. I got a better answer.
Oh, you do?
Yes. I'll be Darth Vader since he's part of Star Wars or Disney now.
Oh, well, you got now Marvel, which is part of Disney.
Oh,
So
okay.
see, you were thinking traditional Disney
Yeah.
versus new Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think of all the properties they own now, right? So now, no, but I noticed. Does anybody ever pick Kylo Ren? Because I felt, I mean, if you've seen the last one, I mean, he kind of made his like, to me, he made a comeback in the last one. But you see anybody that goes, oh yeah, I want to be Kylo Ren? It doesn't happen. Am I wrong on this?
No, I don't. Who wants to be Kylo Ren?
I know, spoiled brat. Seriously, like whiny anger issues. Like, yeah, I felt like they just I don't know, maybe a Hollywood celebrity's son was up
Oh,
for grabs. I don't know.
John Piercy just picked the best Disney character.
Oh, who does she? Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They own Deadpool. That's right.
I'm forgetting all these new properties that coming into their into the Disney fold.
Yeah, you got it. You got to be up with the times. Up with the times. Okay, so can I just razz a little?
Okay.
There you go. That's Beyonce. Every time they showed her, I saw these big wings, and I just thought, now, like from the waist down, okay, I totally get it, but the wings, I felt was like a prom dress that just I didn't. I felt she's had better dresses. Am I wrong on this? Do you like? I don't know. Like whenever they showed her face, you saw these big yellow poofy things around her head, and you're like, that's all you saw. You didn't see her. Like you kind of like, oh, there she is in the middle.
Oh Lord.
But there you go. Not winning any award, by the way. Just
I think
attending.
Jason Momoa should win an award for wearing what he wore to the Golden Globes.
Yeah, you know what? Jason Momoa rocked it, right? Him and his wife. So there you go. Casey says, let's see, I would probably end up spending most of my time and money at Universal because of Harry Potter. Which, by the way, I've been to Florida, and I went, the one time that I went, and I didn't go to Disney World. I don't know why.
10 seconds.
But Universal Orlando is the bomb.com.
Oh man. 2 seconds.
Stay at the Portofino, by the way. It's a great place. Welcome back. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, KVVB TV, 33 Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and much, much more. We've got Stephanie Reed, Tim Harris tuning in. And let's see, Mom, Diana Chenevere, Don Piercy. Diana says, I've been to Six Flags over in Texas. Yeah, Six Flags is like one of those, they have one in practically every other state, right? So Six Flags are you talking about? Casey says, I would probably end up spending most of my time and money at Universal because of Harry Potter. Diana says, I prefer Universal Studios theme park over Disney. I've been to the one in LA and Orlando, Florida, which, by the way, Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, fantastic. Nothing like it. They have some great rides over there, as well as just the resorts that you can stay at. Hard Rock being one of them. The Portofino, I believe, being one that I stayed at. Very nice. It's like it's kind of like going to Europe, but not being in Europe, if that makes any sense. And much, much more. Jesse, look, you know what? I understand we as men sometimes get razzed for things that we say being men, right? And sometimes the ladies agree with us, and they like to disagree with us because they're like, no, you need to let me take on this brave, bold new world on my own with my own decisions. But having said that, there's one decision that I just think should be and I know I'm gonna get hate letters on this. Look, if Ricky Gervais could host the Golden Globes for 5 years and never get kicked off for some of the stuff he said, I hope I would not get kicked off for saying this one thing. But we celebrate a lot of days here on the morning show, Jesse, and sometimes we have like month awareness ones. I'm just asking, do you think though that we should possibly do a whole thing under January month?
Why does that sound familiar?
There you go. Yeah, women are growing out their body hair. Not only armpits, but the legs too, which I understand is a very European thing to do already. But yeah, well, women are being told to let body hair grow for January this month. First of all, that just took January to a whole new level, which I just can't believe I even am saying this. January, which Jesse, you're already rocking it. You're rocking the January look, right?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. So women across the globe are being told to encourage the acceptance of body hair on women. The January campaign, there's a campaign on this, was launched last year to empower women to embrace their natural bodies while also raising money for charity. It was started by 22-year-old Laura Jackson. Laura, you and I got to talk. Seriously. She said, advertising and the media enforce the idea that the natural hair women grow on their bodies is unattractive and distasteful. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're right. Because, look, okay, I'll give you this. All right? At what point did women start shaving, right? Because for a long time, like, we were clothed. Really clothed, right? And then all of a sudden, the less clothes happened. Remember, right? Early 1900s, like women were like, if you saw an ankle, people got excited. That was like the men's mentality then. They were like, ooh, ankle, ooh. But and everything else was like, completely, the big clothes, right? So I don't know at what point it just suddenly became fashionable to like start shaving body hair. But I know a lot of women, including Brenda, who I don't know if I should say this, but she was like, yeah, no. She was just no. And some even go to the extreme, which I would never do this personally, although I've considered it because I heard it's very painful. Electrolysis to like, deaden the hair. I don't know that I would go to that extent. I know quite a few ladies that have done that where they like numb their face and then they have the laser surgery, which actually just like basically, I don't know what it does to the hair follicles. I guess it basically makes them just like stop growing. I want to go to that level, okay, personally. But according to this, January is encouraging women to let their body hair grow. And so there you go. So I don't know, Jesse, if your lady said, look, I'm going to celebrate January, how would you feel about that?
I would feel a little disturbed, but it's her choice. So I'm not going to tell her not to do whatever. So
smart man. Again, yeah, that's my thing. But I think we can have an opinion on it, right? Because guaranteed, you ladies out there have a lot of opinion on men. Let's just face it. There's a lot of opinions. Like, oh, clean up after you're done. Stop throwing your clothes on the floor, right? You have opinions about us, man. So we have opinions on our end. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously. So there you go. Look, at the very end of the day, according to this, they said our charity focus this year is to support Tree Sisters in protecting, restoring, and funding reforestation. Even if you're not personally joining in with January this year, I'm participating in. I'm just not sure I want to see body hair on women like with like size of cotton balls on their armpits. I encourage you to talk about it with others. If we see the same things again and again, it becomes normal. After posting an update, you know what? Look, this young lady who's 22, I get it. I feel you. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, you know what? I understand you because I don't like shaving my facial hair every single day. I don't. You know how many dollars I got to spend on razor products for my face that I'm like, sometimes I want to rock Jesse's look. I'm not lying here. There are many times I want to do that. And there's parts of my body that I do continue to shave because I just feel on my own body hair is a little disgusting in some areas, just saying. So, but look, that's me. So I can only speak for me, I guess, but I've never done the full wax thing. So ladies that have done that, ooh, you got a high tolerance for pain. Have you ever done any type of waxing, Jesse?
No.
Yeah, but they say it's a great thing to do, or very exhilarating. So there you go. I know some men that like have hairy backs that look like bears, and they've done it. They're like you
Have you
know.
ever seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is why it terrorized. Or I keep seeing back to that moment where they ripped it off.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So look, our social media comments. Here's one. Miguel Rodriguez says in Spanish. Hopefully it doesn't say a bad word. A lo que Dios nos dé. I think that means no way. That's so. There you go. Sandy says no, and Narisa, which all these girls, these are ladies by the way, did the green emoji like throwing up emoji face, which I feel is appropriate. By the way, Casey says Jesse doesn't have to worry. I'm not into being hairy. Yeah. All right, Casey. So Jesse's like, my day is made. My day and week is made. Thank you, God. Thank you. Okay, so because there's some ladies out there like, oh yeah, I want to rock this, and you know what? You go on with your bad self. So there you go. All right. Moving on though, because I feel we need to. This happened in Pennsylvania. You know what? The world is coming to a very sick end when you have this. A manager at the store in Edinburgh found a closed pill bottle. So you're thinking, okay, what's in the pill bottle, right? I mean, what are the many things that could be in a pill bottle that is quite disgusting, Jesse?
Um. I don't know, because I can list a lot of things, but I'd rather not say it on air.
Okay, that's safe, by the way.
Yeah.
Always err on the side of caution there when you have certain things like that come to your head. This was including live bugs crawling inside. And reporting it to authorities, the bottle was found inside a boy's jacket, which was for sale. Now, the bugs were bed bugs.
Oh no.
A canister of bed bugs. So they're facing a bed bug infestation after someone released the parasitic insects in a men's changing room. Imagine that, you're like trying to change, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, what's that in my, nether regions, my hairy butt, right? Like it's that bed bugs, like in your clothes. According to the Walmart spokesperson, told CNN, I feel bad for Walmart. I really do. It's not Walmart's fault. They said, we take this seriously and are looking into this. We are fully cooperating with law enforcement on their investigation. On Friday, health safety company Ecolab confirmed that the insects were bedbugs. An Ecolab employee also reported seeing bedbugs crawling around the men's changing rooms that same day. A Walmart employee later found a second closed pill bottle containing dead bedbugs in the men's department. They weren't allowed to breathe. See, somebody didn't give them the memo. Bugs need to actually breathe. Edinburgh is the northwest corner of the state near Erie, Pennsylvania. You hear it? Yeah. The Walmart spokesperson says a third-party pest and management service has visited the store, and we're working with them to assess next steps. In the meantime, we have blocked off the impacted area. Now, here's my question, Jesse. There's people that go, you know what? This is a good idea. This is a good prank. How would you feel if you were trying on some clothes and all of a sudden you realize you got bed bugs? Lice is bad enough, but bed bugs, I got no words.
Yeah, bed bugs are just horrible. They're awful to get rid of as well.
Yeah, and for those of you wondering, extermination of bed bugs, by the way, can cost you about $200 to $1,500 per room, and they're often fails.
They are
What?
really difficult to kill.
Yeah. So how do you kill bed bugs? Look, I don't know how you kill bed bugs. I do know. There's a special sheet that is really good because they don't like bamboo, evidently. I've been told this, by the way. So if you get like special bamboo sheets, which we saw at Costco, by the way. Yeah, so organic bamboo sheets or duvet covers and comforters, I don't know if you know this, but are really good against bed bugs. They don't like the stuff because it's a natural thing, right? Bamboo, and then you just make it into like a sheet. And it's really soft, by the way. According to this, Cozy Earth Bamboo Comforter naturally fights against bacteria. The bamboo plant possesses a natural antimicrobial enzyme called kun, which is extremely resistant to bacteria, mold, and fungal infestation. 100% viscose from bamboo fabric was tested over a 24-hour period, and the fabric had 99.8% antibacterial kill rate.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah, and evidently bedbugs do not like it. By the way, they're like, nah, bamboo, right? And so go check it out. Bamboo sheets. Again, Costco had some really good ones. We didn't get to buy them. Hopefully they'll be back sometime soon. But there you go. So now you know. By the way, congratulations, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker beat both Jumanji, Little Women, The Grudge, and Frozen 2 with 33.7 million. And it's how many weeks is that? Is that 3 weeks now?
I think it's about 3 weeks now.
Yeah, the majority of us all saw it in the first week. But if you're on the fence about that, you should go check it out because it's really good, by the way. And there you go. Oh, by the way, if you ever have an animal of any sort, we asked earlier what kind of Disney character would you be. If you were an animal, what animal would you be? I would want to be a parrot. You know why, Jesse?
Why?
Because you can actually talk. Like, if you were being mistreated, like, hopefully you'll know the words to do this. So this happened in Florida. Police got the surprise when they had a call reporting the sounds of a woman in distress. And evidently the woman was saying, let me out, let me out. Oh. I don't know where the came from. They're long O's, by the way, like O-H-H-H-H-H. They were so lifelike that a neighbor called the police concerned that a woman was actually in trouble. You know what? Good job, neighbor, by the way, because, there are neighbors that hear things and don't make any calls at all. According to this, she says, I was changing the brakes on my wife's car and had my 40-year-old parrot Rambo on his outside perch where he sings and talks. Sometime later, 4 police officers showed up saying the neighbor called because she heard a woman screaming for help. He says, I promptly introduced the officers to Rambo, and we all had a good laugh. So there you go. He says, I'll bring out the screamer to you. And the screamer, of course. You can imagine, a man with the police with their guns drawn, ready to, take out this guy. So there you go. Afterwards, Rambo was introduced, and the owner said, sometimes Rambo yells, help, 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 let me out. Sometimes, there you go. So, what have we learned from this? If you're going to get a parrot, make sure to train it words that it cannot, make you call the cops. And there you go. Help. Poor parrot, but seriously, the parrot probably does need help, and we all think, oh, it's a parrot. It doesn't need any help. Probably does. All right, we're going to take a break here on The Morning Show. We'll be back tomorrow with much, much more. Go check it out, the LA Boat Show. It's happening in your neck of the woods. Okay, in our neck of the woods. We'll give you more details on that coming up around the corner. Make it a great one. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well. All right, Tim Harris over there correcting me. So sorry. They don't talk. They mimic. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, they mimic the talking of the talk. I get it. They don't formulate words in such a way that it makes sense. I understand that. Either way, call a bird what a bird is. A parrot that mimics. But see, that doesn't sound good. You can't go out there going, oh, this parrot mimicked help. He according to the article, look, I don't write them, I just read them. All right, moving on though. We appreciate many of you for tuning in. Look, it's been a fun show. There's lots going on in the world, which again, if you want to make sure to tune in to our great channel, ABC News, our radio, or follow us online, KVVB TV 33, Facebook Live. You can check us out right there and let your comments be known, like Tim Harris over there. Let's see. Stephanie Reed says the Star Wars movie was awesome. Yeah, right. It was fantastic. I want to see that again, by the way. I got to take somebody that hasn't seen it. Diana Chenevere says I did a bikini wax at a spa in Los Angeles with my playmate friend, Deborah Jo Fondren. And you know what that whole whoosh, right? I don't know how ladies do it, especially in the nether regions. I've heard. I remember the first time I heard that, I said, "You do what? Where?" I was like, I had no idea. So my hat's off to those of you that do it. January, if you want to celebrate it, post a picture to see how far that goes. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everybody.